Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hey everybody, hope you guys are having a great afternoon so far. Can y'all hear me okay? Great. Hey everybody, I just popped something into the chat if you would like to respond. I asked how many of you are using Google Business for your farm or your business. So just pop in and say yes, no, or maybe, I'm not really sure. That's fine too. All right, Deborah said not yet, but hopefully after this class, Deborah, you will make yourself a nice Google business page. Jack said that he's helped some farms create pages. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that too. Renee, not yet, but she's very interested. All right, we have a lot of people that are super interested. I'm really excited about that. We'll give everyone a couple more minutes to hop on. So just 2 more minutes till we get started. Kathleen says that she's not on Google My Business yet, but she's really eager to learn. So that's awesome. I actually recently made a Google My Business page for Tabletop Media Group. So I'm going to show you guys some examples and whatnot, and just how easy it is to create a Google My Business page today. All right, everybody. So it's 12 o'clock on the dot. We're going to go ahead and get started. So I did pop in the chat to see how many of you guys are currently using Google My Business for your farm or your business, whatever you might have. So we did get a nice group of responses. Most people, I would say the majority, have not used Google My Business yet, but they're really eager to learn, excited to get it all set up. So I'm here today to help you have the skills in order at the very end of class to be able to go and claim, is what they like to call it, claim your Google My Business page. So we'll go ahead and get started. If you guys do have any questions at all during the presentation, feel free to pop it into that Zoom group chat, and you can direct it towards everybody. You can direct it just towards me, whatever you feel like doing. So it's really nice to meet all of you guys. I am the one, for those that have been joining, you already know by now, but I'm the second one from the left on the bottom. And my name is Kristen Baughman. I am the founder of Tabletop Media Group. So I am super excited that the North Carolina Department of Ag and Warren County Economic Development Commission have brought me on to do this series called Social Media for Farmers. So really excited. This is the class all about Google My Business. We've taught some classes about Facebook, Instagram, creating a social media framework. And then we have a couple other classes coming up all about video, YouTube, some different things like that. So feel free to check us out at tabletopmediagroup.com, and you can find a listing of all the upcoming classes that are happening if you click on Tabletop Talk. So did want to put a plug for that, and the YouTube class is something new that we added. So if you're really interested in learning a little bit more about YouTube, that's going to be a great class. And I also have up our email address, info@tabletopmediagroup.com, and then our social media handles. It's at Tabletop Media GP. You can find us on all the common social media platforms. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about Google My Business. So what exactly is Google My Business? First of all, that's what we're going to cover. And then why should you actually be using it for your farm? And then how do you go about claiming your page and setting your page up for success? And then Google My Business actually allows you to create posts, which I think is really awesome. And we'll go over the different types of posts that are available for you to make. We'll talk about evaluating the insights and seeing how your business is performing on Google. We'll also talk about how you can respond to reviews, which is very, very important. Then we'll discuss how you can add users. So I know a lot of us, we're busy people. We don't have time to respond back to every single review on a Google My Business. Maybe you want to hire an intern to help you manage that. Well, how do you actually go in and add new users to Google My Business? We'll learn that today. And then last but not least, we'll talk about getting messages from customers via Google My Business. So first up, what is Google My Business? Well, it's an absolutely free tool, which I love, and it's super easy to use as soon as you kind of dive in and understand the claiming portion of the page. So a lot of businesses and organizations use this, a lot of farms use it, but I will say there are still a lot of businesses, especially in rural areas. I live in a rural area that I know have never even claimed their Google My Business page, and it really does help if you claim it, because anybody that's searching on Google Maps or just on Google in general, if they start typing like strawberry farm and they're within your area, your business will now pop up. So it's really important that you claim this because it helps your search engine optimization, or SEO. So we'll dive into that in just a minute. So Google My Business is also a great tool used to manage your online presence across those platforms that I mentioned, Google searches and Google Maps. You can verify and edit your business information, and you can help customers be able to find your business and tell your business's story. So some people are a little bit confused when you're saying like, what Google My Business? So what exactly is it? What does it look like? Is it, do I access it through an app, or, all those kind of questions that I get. So I wanted to pull up something that I'm positive probably 100% of you have seen before. So you know how whenever you're Googling a business, so maybe like one of your favorite restaurants, or you need directions for some business that you're going to, like Walmart or something. When you start typing that, there's this page that I have up as a screenshot that will pop open on Google. So I'll do a quick demo after this, but I wanted to be sure to show you what it looks like in the search function. So if somebody were to search Tabletop Media Group, this will pop up on the right-hand side of my screen if I'm Googling it. So you can see our photos, where we're located in Warrenton, North Carolina. I have one Google review that's 5 stars. There's a little blurb about my company. It says the hours that I'm currently open, and I close at 5 today. So that's what it looks like. So real quick, I'm gonna toggle off of this screen so you guys can see what it looks like if I was to go to google.com and type Tabletop Media Group. So I'm searching, and then voila, this is Google My Business. So it's whatever is popping up right here on a Google search whenever you're searching a company. So if you are a business that has not claimed your page, sometimes it will still pop up, but it'll say that it's unclaimed, or sometimes you won't even have one of these. So that's why it's so important to go ahead and claim your page. Then I also wanted to be sure to tell you guys, I don't know how many of you guys use Google Maps, but I'm a big Google user. I use Google Maps when I'm out and about trying to go to different businesses or whatnot. But Google Maps has a great feature where you can also explore or discover. So if I'm in a new area, for example, maybe I'm traveling to a different city, I might look up, restaurants that are, that have hamburgers. And so a bunch of different businesses would pop up, and I could click on that business name and it would pop open their Google My Business page. So this is what it looks like on a Google Maps. So I just searched Tabletop Media Group on my Google Maps, and then this is the Google My Business page that pops up. So I'll toggle over to Google Maps. So let's say I want to search, I'm currently in Warrenton, it pulled up my location. Let's say I want to search somebody that's doing takeout. So this is like that discover type of feature. So I can search takeout in this area, and now you'll see here are my different options that pop up. So this is Hardee's Google My Business page. This is hardware cafes, Denny's, Burger King, and so on. Let's say, I want to click on one that has the highest rating. So Hardware Cafe has the highest rating. I'll click on that, and now I can explore their Google My Business page. I can see what their address is. I could call them. I know that they're open until 3 p.m. today, and so on. I can even click on their menu. So that's what the Google My Business page looks like, and why it's so important to have all your information filled out. So I know that a lot of us are like, so, what's the point of claiming the page? How is this going to help my business? Well, this is just on average that 1,260 people view your company per month. I will say that just based on some of my clients and taking a peek at their insights, I have some clients that get 10,000 customer views every month just from having their business claimed on Google. So those are potentially people that have never been to your business, or maybe it's somebody that is wanting to just have a little bit more information about a local farm that's in the area or whatnot. So I do like to put up this statistic, and just know that there are some clients of mine and just other companies I've worked with that those views are exponentially higher. So this is just on average of all the Google My Business pages out there. And I did get a good question in the chat. So Renee is asking, do you have to have a web page to have a Google business page? You do not. So that is something to keep in mind. And we'll talk about filling out your profile, setting it up for success, but that's a great question, Renee. So why should I use Google My Business for my farm? Well, there's 3 main reasons. Number 1 is that you can manage your information on Google My Business. Number 2, you can interact with customers. And number 3 is understand and expand your presence. So we'll go over each one a little bit more in depth. So number 1 is managing your information. So whenever you have a Google My Business page, you can manage the information that Google users find when they're searching for your business. Or you can manage the information about what products you offer or what services you offer. So Google is essentially giving you control as the business owner to put out the information that you want people to find first and foremost when they're searching for you. Businesses that verify their information with Google My Business are twice as likely to be considered reputable by customers. So that's something big. And then also Google My Business gives them direct access to correct information like your hours, your website, your street address, your phone number, etc. So one of my biggest pet peeves is, maybe I want to go strawberry picking since it's strawberry season, and I'm trying to find out if the farm is open and they haven't claimed their page. And then I try to call them and maybe they're not answering me. So if that farm would have claimed their Google My Business page and had their hours correct and their phone number readily available, I'd most likely go to that farm over one where I couldn't find all of that information. So just keep that in mind. You're basically claiming this page to make it very easy for the consumer or your potential customer. So the next thing about why use Google My Business for my farm is that it allows you to interact with your customers. So on Google My Business, you can read and respond to reviews from your customers, and we'll go into depth about how you do that. And then you can also post photos that show off your farm and what you offer, what types of produce you're growing, what kind of animals you have on your farm. And businesses that add photos to their business profiles receive 42% more requests for directions on Google Maps. So it is super important to make sure that you're adding some nice quality looking photos into your profile. And then you also receive 35% more clicks through to your website. So those are some interesting stats to keep in mind. And then finally, why you should be using Google My Business for your farm is that you can understand and expand your presence. So you can actually find insights on the back end of Google My Business on how customers searched for your farm and where those customers are coming from. So you can search, maybe you're like right outside of the Charlotte area. Maybe your farm is like a 30-minute drive. Are most of your customers coming from Charlotte, or are most of them coming from your rural area where you live? So it's really cool that Google gives you all these amazing insights, and that can help you determine marketing strategies moving forward as well. You can also use Google My Business to find information like how many people called your farm directly from the phone number that you have up on your profile, and then how many people actually discovered you from those local search results like I showed you guys earlier with Google Maps. And then finally, you can create postings on your Google My Business page to promote what your farm is doing. So that's a fun kind of piece. It reminds me in a way of creating a Facebook post or an Instagram post, and we'll talk about that in just a few. So I know that I hope I've convinced you all to claim your Google My Business page. So how do you actually go about doing that? Well, when you're on your computer, you want to sign into Google My Business. So how do you do that? Well, just simply go to your Google account and sign in. So I access it for my business. I have a Google Suite account that's under tabletopmediagroup.com. So I'm able just to use my personal email address through my business, and then it sets me up to now claim a page. If for some reason you are not using Google Suite, just simply create a new Google account. And it's really easy to do. Just go to google.com and create a free account. Then you'll have to enter your business's address and choose if you want your business to appear on Google Maps. And then it'll walk you through some steps about selecting what type of category your business is. And then you can enter your phone number, website URL, and other kind of information into the Google My Business backend. Then what Google will do is you will select a verification option. So Google, especially if it's like a pretty new business, they'll usually send you a postcard in the mail that has like a couple letters or numbers as a verification code. And so I've had this happen recently. One of our clients opened up a pizza restaurant in Carborough last year. And so he was not able to get a phone call from Google My Business. They made him have a postcard get mailed to him. And so we had to wait a couple of business days. It came in the mail, that little postcard. He went back onto Google My Business, inserted that verification code, and it was instantly verified. So it's a pretty easy process. And I'll walk you through how to access this. So I will go to you can access it from any kind of Google app really. So I'm going to go in here to my apps and go down to my businesses. That's how I usually access it because I'm always on my email. But you could just go to business.google.com. So once you're at Google My Business, you'll see that you have a wide variety of different options. You can hit manage locations, manage reviews, etc. But say I wanted to add in a new location or claim my page. So you'll see I have all of these different businesses that I either own or that I'm managing. But let's say I want to add in something new. So I would just toggle over to add location and then add a single location. So I'm just gonna do an example. I'm just gonna make a farm name up, Baughman Farms, because that's my last name, my maiden name. So you'll start typing your business name and then create a business with this name. Then you'll hit next after you make sure that that's correct. Then it will prompt you to choose the best category that fits your business. So for this, it's a farm, and I'm going to just select farm. There's a bunch of other things that come up: tree farm, wind farm, shrimp farm, all sorts of stuff, pig farm. So get specific, especially if you're, really specialized in something. So I'm just going to select farm for the sake. Then it will ask you, do you want to add a location customers can visit, like a store or an office or your farm? So I will say yes, because Baughman Farms, my imaginary farm, is going to be a place that offers agritourism where people can come and take hay rides and pick pumpkins. So we'll just hit next. Then it will ask you what's the address. So I'm just gonna type in a fake address, 120 Sally Lou Lane in Warrenton, and then I'll hit next. And then it will ask, do you also serve customers outside this location? So this is really important, especially if your business, say you're offering like a consulting service where you service people all throughout North Carolina. You could definitely select yes, that you serve people outside of your location. If you are solely like an agritourism farm or a place that people are visiting, I would make sure that you're hitting no, I don't. Then it will say, what contact details do you want to show customers? So I'm gonna just go ahead and put in my cell phone number here, but I would recommend putting in your business phone number because Google will have that number on record, and that's what is gonna be shown to customers that are looking you up. And then to answer your question again, Renee, she asked, do you have to have a website in order to create a page? You don't have to. If you do have a website, this is a great place to go ahead and put this in right here. So I'm just going to do baughmanfarms.com. I'm making this all up, so we'll see if it lets me. Oh, it's saying I have an invalid phone number, probably because I've used that phone number before. But so in order to continue, we would have to have a valid phone number that has not been used by another Google business account. So do keep that in mind. But if I would have had a valid phone number, it would let me continue. And then that's when Google My Business would have the verification aspect. So it would either call me or it would direct me that a postcard would be mailed to my business. So that is how you easily can go on there and claim or add a new business. Okay. Alrighty. And then Victoria did ask a good question. Should you post your location if you don't offer tourism to prevent activists from showing up to free your pigs? That is definitely a good question and something to certainly keep in mind, because by putting your address on Google My Business, people do have that now. And so, it's something I would say that's like a personal preference for you. If you are, more of like an agritourism kind of place where you are wanting people to come to your farm, I would certainly put your address there. You could, Victoria, my suggestion would just be to select that you service a particular area. So maybe instead of putting your address, Google will let you have a service area. So you could just say that, I service Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and, a few other surrounding counties. So that's what I would do in order not to give up that address. And then Nicole says, do you have to show your phone number? I do believe for this, this step, you do not, I think you want to go ahead and put it in Google My Business, so that way they can at least verify your business, but you should be able to take it off afterwards, Nicole. It is an optional thing that you can add to your listing. So you can see right here, help customers get in touch by including this info on your listing, parentheses optional. So it might actually let me continue without a phone number. Yeah, it does. So I would, for this sake, Nicole, if you didn't want to have your phone number, just take it off of that step. So it's saying that now I'll be able to manage Baughman Farms on Google. As soon as I hit the finish button, then Google would ask me to verify my business. So I'm not going to do that because I completely made this up. So we're going to exit out of that. All right. So I have had a couple instances where I am working with some clients that maybe had a disgruntled employee, or somebody from way back in the day had claimed their Google My Business page for them and they didn't add the owner of the company as the owner of the Google My Business page. So it is very annoying, but Google will help you to get that ownership back of your Google My Business page. So what you have to do is request ownership of a previous Google My Business page. So somebody could go on to Tabletop Media Group's Google business listing and request ownership of my page. Of course, it would notify me and I would immediately decline that. But Google has some back-end resources and people on their team where they can see, how active that page has been, et cetera. So if they notice that one of the companies I'm thinking of is a landscape company that's down in Florida that I was helping, and Google noticed that they had not been active on Google My Business and hadn't signed in, and that email address was also defunct. And so they were able to give the actual owner of that landscape company back his Google My Business listing. So what you would do is you'll want to find that business that you're trying to claim on Google search or Google Maps. So like for Tabletop, you'd search Tabletop Media Group. And then under the business profile, you can click claim this business and then click to continue. And you'll get a message that will let you know if somebody else has verified that profile before. There are instances where Google users will just create a location. I've seen this happen before. We had a restaurant client in Nightdale. Somebody just created a quick profile for them that said Prime Barbecue, and nobody had actually claimed ownership of it. So the owner of the barbecue restaurant was able to go in there, claim the business, and now it was his listing and he had access to control what was being shown to all the Google users. So if you're authorized to manage the Google business profile, you can request ownership from the current profile owner. So as soon as you hit that you want to claim the business and request ownership, whoever does own that profile, so like let's say Renee, who's listening in, is trying to claim Tabletop Media Group, it will notify Kristen, the owner, that Renee is trying to get ownership. And of course, I would deny it. But it is something just to keep in mind to make sure before you go ahead and set up your Google My Business page, go onto Google and just search your company name and just make sure nobody has created just like a quick splash page up there, or that nobody does own your current Google My Business page. So that's how you would walk through those steps, and you will get these slides, so you can definitely refer back to all these bullets. And I did include like a FAQ type of section from Google in the notes under each one of these slides that have like the step-by-step instructions. That way, if you can't remember something or you're a little lost, you can refer back to that Q&A. So now you have claimed your Google business listing. So what's next? Well, you want to make sure that you're adding in all the appropriate information into your Google My Business page. So I put up a screenshot of a local restaurant here in Warrenton that we help to manage. And so you'll see that this is what the back end of Google My Business will look like. So you'll see you have an opportunity to add an info section, what type of business it is. So you can pick your category. So for them, it would be a restaurant. For you guys, maybe it's pig farm or a horse farm or, whatever it might be. You can add in your address. The service area is the other thing I was talking about. You could remove that address and just put service area as, Raleigh or Chapel Hill or wherever you service. Then you can add in your hours, the dates that you're closed, which is something that's really important. I know a lot of business owners, we're so busy, we're running around, 4th of July is right around the corner. We forget to let people know that we're closed on 4th of July. Google is actually so smart that they will send you an email to remind you, and they'll say, hey, Tabletop Media Group, are you guys closed on 4th of July? Update your hours really quick. So you can make sure that you are adding in like special events or holidays when you're closed, or maybe you have limited hours. So you can do that all from your Google My Business listing. Then you can also have links to menus or, like e-commerce if you're like selling, meat packages or, selling things online, some swag for your farm. You can always include that right there on your Google My Business listing. You can also include accessibility information. So maybe your farm is handicap accessible, so you could put that in there. And then you can also have a little about blurb about your business. I like to just have a couple of sentences telling people, you know, what we're all about, when we opened. And you can also put in your exact opening date on your Google My Business page. So I'm going to do a quick demo of what it looks like when we go to the info section. So we're going to go to Tabletop Media Group. And then I'm going to go down over on the left-hand side to info. And so this is the page I was telling you guys that you can edit everything. So right now, this is the name of my company, Tabletop Media Group. I could edit this if I wanted to change my business name. Edits will take up to 3 days to be published for some of these. So just keep that in mind. You can change whatever type of category you are. So I put that I'm a media company. Maybe I was a restaurant. I could certainly type in there that I'm a restaurant and then hit apply and it would change it. You can also add additional categories. So this is something kind of neat. So maybe I was a restaurant, but I wanted to, you know, put seafood restaurant as well. Or I wanted to, you know, maybe I'm a farm and I wanted to say I'm a pig farm and a horse farm or whatever it might be. So I'm just going to hit cancel really quick. Then I can add in that address and I can change that out or clear the address. So if I wanted to clear the address, I'd click that. And then removing your address hides your business location on Google. So I know we had that question about, can you just remove your address? Like maybe you don't want activists coming to your farm or you just don't want visitors on your farm. You can certainly do that. But customers in your service area will still be able to search for you. So that is something very important. So I also put in my service areas for Tabletop Media Group. So we service a wide variety of clients in the North Carolina area. So I was able to pop that in as my service area. So you just hit that little button if you wanted to add in new types of areas. Then our hours, we're open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So I can easily pop in there. Maybe I want to say that we're now open on Sunday. And then you simply just write whatever time you want to be open. So 9 a.m. Until 5. And so you'll just type that in and then select whatever time is best for you. Then this is where you can add special hours. So Memorial Day, this is where I told you Google will send you alerts to say, hey, you know, most people have irregular hours on Memorial Day or 4th of July. Are you guys actually going to be closed or do you have irregular, you know, hours or regular hours? So you can actually go in here and confirm hours. And I'm going to say that I'm actually going to be closed on Memorial Day and I'm going to be closed on July 3rd and July 4th. And then I'll hit apply. And so Google will know that those holidays that are coming up, it will now tell my followers and people that are searching for me on Google that I'm closed. Then I can add in my business phone number right here. So that's where I can put in my primary phone number. I could add a secondary phone number if I wanted to. Maybe it was like, you know, a cell phone number, something that I wanted to put on there. Then this is where you can add a short name for your business. So some people like to do this, like Google is suggesting tabletop-media-group. Sometimes people like to put it as their social media handle. So ours is Tabletop Media GP. So I could just do that if I wanted to. And that will show up as my short name on Google. And then whenever I want to share my business profile, this is what it would look like, this link right here. And I can give customers a link to find my business on Google right there. Then appointment links, this would be, you know, if you are taking appointments for your business, you would put that right in there. You can add or edit products. So maybe I wanted to link to a store or something along those lines. I can do that under the products section. We'll pop back into info. And then you can also add in highlights, which is kind of an interesting feature. It's something kind of new. You can highlight, like if you're veteran-led or women-led companies. So Google has these different types of attributes that you can add in there. And then this is where you add that little blurb that I was talking to you about. So I just like to do like a really brief description. They only give you 750 characters. So be sure to keep that in mind. But just a brief description where if somebody is landing on your business page, they can easily understand what you're all about. And then finally, your open date, and then you can go in and add photos, which we are going to talk about here in just 1 minute. And then Rita, you asked a really great question As a seasonal business, how do we post hours? Should we say that we're permanently closed? That's a fantastic question, and something that I know a lot of you guys are probably kind of in the same boat as Rita. So what I would do is right now, let's say I'm a strawberry farmer. And so I have you pick strawberries, and my current hours are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 9 to 5. But let's say, it's rolling up on July and I'm closed for the season. What I would do is simply just toggle over and put that I'm closed, and I'd hit apply. So I would just make sure that I'm updating that hour portion whenever things are fluctuating. And then, maybe you are currently open, but there are some of those holidays like Memorial Day and July 4th when you're not going to be open. That's when I would do this special instance right here to add special hours. So that's a great question, Rita. All right. So next up is I want to show you guys why it's so important to add in photos and a cover photo and your logo into your Google My Business page. So what you do in order to set all this up is you'll go over to that photos section and you'll click on the blue plus sign button, which is in the upper right-hand corner. And we'll do a demo on this. But you can add in images as the owner of your farm or your business. You can add in products, you can add in your logo and all sorts of great things. So let's toggle back over here. So once you're on to Google My Business, how you would access it is you would click on whatever location. So we're just going to pick Robinson Ferry for this example, the restaurant. And then we're going to go down to photos. So right now you can see that we already have the logo set up. But if you wanted to change your logo, you would click on this button, logo, and then simply upload the logo from your computer and then hit set logo. And then it would save it as your logo for your business. You also have the option to have that cover photo. So if you remember when we searched for Tabletop Media Group on Google, there's this pretty photo of all the food that popped up. That is my cover photo. So that's really important to select something that's really nice that could fit into, more of a horizontal kind of landscape. I would suggest, picking a great photo of some of your products or what your farm looks like as your cover photo. So that would be the cover photo right here. And then if you want to add in other photos, you'll click on this blue button right here, and you can select different types of photos and videos that you want to add. So I'm just going to upload this photo of a cocktail real quick just to walk you through the steps. So I would upload it, and then now it appears as one of the photos that's in my profile. Say I wanted to delete it, I would just hit this little delete button, and it will give me a warning that these types of things will not be able to appear again. You'd have to upload it again. Another really kind of cool feature, I think we haven't done it yet for the restaurant, but is to add a video. So you can also add in a short video directly from your computer. You can drag it in there and upload it. So maybe you've had a videographer come out to your farm and film, a quick 1-minute video about who you are. That would be really cool to put right there. So then for this category, since it's a restaurant, they also have food and drink photos, and you can add photos into those particular categories. So that's also something that's pretty neat. So you'll see that these are some of the shots of the different food that's available, and it puts it into that category, food and drink. Exterior, you'll see that when you toggle over, you'll see some of the business owner photos. This is one that Robinson Ferry uploaded, but you'll also see that other users have uploaded content. So that's something to also keep in mind, is that there is a by owner category, but also your customers can add photos here. So if I was landing on your page on Google, I could see all the business owner photos, but also some of the customer photos. So that is something for sure to keep in mind, that people do have the ability to add in photos of your business. So this is especially great, if somebody is going to pick strawberries on your farm, they could upload any kind of photos they had of their experience at your business for other Google users to see. If you don't like a certain photo for some instance, you can click on this photo. Let's say I'm trying to pick one that we wouldn't like. Let's say hours of operation. I don't like this photo because it's the old Robinson Ferry logo. All the hours are incorrect. So I'm just going to go ahead and flag it. So what I can do is I could just say why I'm reporting this photo. So I'm just going to say other. These are not our correct hours anymore. And then I can put in my email address. I'm going to use the restaurant's email address. and then I'll hit I'm not a robot and hit submit. So it will send this to Google and they will take a look at it and see if the image is in violation of their policies. And then if it is in violation, they will take it down. So that is something that I do like to regularly do. Like this one, I have no idea why somebody posted allergy medicine for the restaurant. So we're just gonna say other, or I could say not a photo or video of the place. And then I'll type in my email address again and hit that I'm not a robot and continue. So definitely be sure to take a look at some of these things and report them if it doesn't represent your business. That's the worst thing. You wouldn't want somebody to post something that really is not representative at all of your business. So that's what that looks like. There is something called 360, and this is actually like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Google Maps cars driving through your area, but when Google Maps has their car coming through, they actually take 360 views of all the streets. And so they will automatically add this into your business and you can see what the inside or what the like parking lot looks like, the outside, and what the streetscape is around the restaurant in this case. So that's how you add in those photos and the video if you would like to on Google My Business. All right. And then we do have a couple of questions. So Coco said, what is the best size for our logo? Ours is wide and gets cut off. I would recommend making it a square. So for this one, you'll see it's the square shape and it looks really nice whenever you go to look on Google. So I would definitely make it a square and try not to use a logo that's so wide. So that's a good question. And then Christina says in our photo section, someone added an image that's not of our farm back in 2011. And the trash can option is not available. So why the trash can option isn't available is that's because it's a customer photo. So you can never delete a customer photo. You'd have to actually go through those steps, Christina, of reporting it as something that's not of your farm. So you'd have to do that little flag button and say, this is not a photo of our farm. And then Google will have to review it in order for it to be taken down. And then Kathleen says, can you add photos from your Google Photos that aren't saved to your computer? So I typically use Google My Business on my computer. What I would do is just on your Google Photos, download those and like email them to yourself and then save them to your computer so you can easily upload it. And then Evangeline is asking, can you show again how to add a photo? Absolutely. So we're gonna go into the photos section right here on our screen. And then there's this blue plus sign. It's kind of hidden. I don't really love that. But if you click on that blue plus sign, then you'll hit select photos and videos from your computer. And I would just select that drink right there. And then it would take just a minute to upload. And then it will now be added into my owner photos right here. So that's just how easy it is to add them. And then you can see that if you toggle over to the info, I forgot to show this, you can now add in categories. So I'm going to add this under food and drink because this is one of the cocktails at the restaurant where we're pretending for it to be. And now if I click on food and drink, it will show up under that category. So I'm just going to delete that real quick. All right, cool. So hopefully everybody knows how to add that. And I will go ahead and show you why I think it's so important to have those photos. Of course, we know that the statistics speak for themselves, but if somebody is searching for your business, they'll click on this, see photos. And now they can actually see all the photos. So there's a photo of me, some of our other employees. This is us at a cheesecake eating contest, you know, taking social media posts for clients. And it just shows like my whole team and what all we do each day at Tabletop. So that's really neat. Let's say I was searching for that restaurant again, Robinson Ferry. And then I would click on see photos and now I can see all the different photos. I love pulling up businesses that are very active so you can take a good glimpse of this. But so when I click on photos, I can see all of them and you'll notice that it's a mix between what the owner has posted and what regular customers have posted. But I can also toggle over and click food and drink and just get a better snapshot of all the food and drink. I can toggle over, they have vibe. So what does the restaurant look like inside? I can even toggle over to by owner. So these are the photos that the owner, Robinson Ferry, has posted on their own page. And then I can toggle over to menu it will automatically put up the different menu shots that people have taken or that the owner has posted. So that's why it's really important. Always take a look at those photos, because like Christina said, I believe it was Christina, she was like, sometimes we have these random photos that are not of our farm. Like, how do I get rid of them? Flag them and just make sure that you're keeping a steady eye on it. So next up, Google My Business allows you to create 3 different types of posts. So now you've gotten your profile all set up, your address, your phone number, the photos, the short little video are in there. So what's next? Do you need to stop posting on Google Business? What should I do? So I always say, like, go into your Google My Business page maybe once a quarter, once a month, whatever you feel like, and update some of those photos with new content, but then also create some steady posts. So think of this as like, a Facebook or an Instagram post. So on Google My Business, there are the 3 different types of posts. Number 1 is an offer. So I just threw out an example. Maybe you're offering 20% off of all your pork products that are listed on your website. The second type of post is an update. So think of just like what's new, what's going on. Maybe you just had a baby calf that was born on the farm. Number 3, as for the last type of post on Google My Business, is an event. So maybe you're having goat yoga on the farm Saturday from 10 to 11, and you would have to put in actual dates and times in order for an event to be posted. And then there's actually a 4th type of post now that Google My Business launched in light of COVID-19. So this 4th type of post is something new that Google is allowing for businesses to post. Maybe, my business is temporarily closed due to COVID-19. You didn't want to set all your hours that you're closed. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. And we'll do a quick demo about how to create a post. So what you would do is you'll go to Google My Business, and then you'll go to whatever business you want to do a post for. So we'll click on Tabletop Media Group for this example, and then I'll click on Post. So what you would do is then toggle up here to whatever type of post you want to do. So we're going to add an update. So this is just what's new, what's happening. So if you need some ideas, you can click at this and it will actually give you some sample posts of other people, of what other people in your area are doing. And then I'm just going to do for what's new, I'm just going to do a quick example. Let's say here's a cocktail. And then you would just write a quick post. We're loving the new summer cocktail menus that are coming out at our clients' bars and restaurants. Stay tuned for more details or something, like just whatever is new. And then you can also add a button. So maybe I had a blog post about all the new summer cocktails that were coming out at our clients' bars and restaurants. So I could click learn more, and then I would link to my website, whatever that blog was. And then I would simply hit publish, and it would share it as a post. But say I want to do some kind of offer. So, I messed up. It wasn't supposed to be a what's new. I want to add an offer for 20% off of cocktails. So I would type in what my offer title is. So let's say 20% off of cocktails this week only. And that's actually illegal. You cannot discount alcohol, but just for example's sake. And then I can add a time if I wanted to. So maybe it starts on May 14th today at 5 p.m. and it ends on May 23rd at 5 p.m. So I could easily add that in there, and I can add more details if I wanted to, like just a little bit of a blurb about my offer details. Here I can add in a coupon code. So this is especially helpful, like if you have e-commerce on your farm's website, or I can add in like a link where people can redeem. And then there's also a section for terms and conditions if I wanted to put that in there. Then as soon as my offer looks good to go, I can hit publish, and it will now show up as a special offer that Tabletop Media Group is currently having. Then the other category was event. So let's say I'm doing a cocktail tasting. So I could create that as my title. I would pick whatever my start date and start time and end date and end time is. So I can do that there. Maybe it's like a couple day event. So I just want it to be from May 14th to 23rd. I could do that. And then I can add in more details about my event. I can add in that button again, maybe order online. Maybe I'm selling tickets to this event and I could put in that link right there and then hit publish. So that's how easy it would be to link to an event, talk about what's new at your company, and create an offer. Then this COVID-19 update. This is, what changes have been happening at your business because of COVID-19. So let your customers know about any changes. So this would be, our team is all working from home right now. Please email us, or, whatever it might be. And then you can also add in a button. Maybe it's call us now, and they would call your business's phone number. Or maybe you want them to learn more about your COVID-19 update, and you could link out to a page on your website that has all the details about COVID-19 and what your business is doing. So that's another kind of interesting update that Google has now created. So this is just what a quick, what's new type of post would look like. So this was, we were talking about posting in the moment on Insta Story and Snapchat and things like that. And so we just put up a nice caption and a nice photo and then a learn more button. So this is what that post would look like from February 2019. And then if you would click learn more, it would take you over to a blog post that we did. So it's just another way to get information out there, and people can see what are some recent posts that your business has been making on Google when they're searching for you. And so that would be under right here. So if you wanted to look up updates from a business, or Robinson Ferry hasn't done one recently, but if they would have, we would have seen what a current update is on Google right under here. So it would all appear on your Google My Business profile. The COVID-19, you would be able to see what their alert is, etc. So a really great tool. I definitely recommend posting pretty regularly on Google My Business. I like to do it especially when there are events. It helps your event go up in the rankings a little bit more too. And then, just keeping people in the loop about what's going on at your business is pretty fun. All right. And then I just put in another example of what an update post looks like. This was something that Robinson Ferry did. Swing on by to try our new menu. We're big fans of the fried hoop cheese. What's not to love? So that was just a quick post that they did. They put up a photo of their new dish, and you can see right here, there are built-in analytics that 629 people viewed that. So that's pretty great. So next up is insights on Google My Business. So we're going to talk about this in a quick demo, but the insights section is really great. You can toggle over and see how customers search for your business. So you'll see right here for the last month for, I think I took this from Robinson Ferry, 5,410 people had searched the business. People, for the most part, were typing it directly in, so probably searching Robinson Ferry, so they already knew that they wanted to go there. That was almost about half. But then there's a big chunk of people that discovered us for the very first time. They just discovered our listing based on a category, a product we're offering, or a service. So maybe somebody was in the Warrenton area and they were searching restaurants that are offering to go. Maybe that's how they discovered that restaurant. So that's what the kind of back end looks like of insights. And we will go over that real quick about how you get there. So let's say I'm going to go to the restaurant because I think that one will be kind of interesting to see. So we have Robinson Ferry. You would go to that restaurant. This is what it looks like. And then you toggle down to insights. So you'll see now that number has changed just a little bit. So you can see that 45% of people directly found my listing. So those are the people that typed in Robinson Ferry. And then we had almost 3,000 people that found us because of the discovery type of section. And then you can toggle over here to see what about last week. So we had 786 people that found us on Google just in a week. Or I can search the last quarter, which is going to be way impressive, 27,000 people. And then you can see, so how are people actually finding my business? So this is what they're typing. For the most part, restaurants near me, or restaurants, food near me, takeout, food, vegetarian. And then I can search, if it's by one quarter, and it might change. So you'll see we have some people that are just searching Robinson Ferry. So they've directly found us through that way. And then, you can just keep on toggling and see what people are actually searching. So then that goes to show me that people are looking for a lot of restaurants or takeout. So maybe in an upcoming What's New post, I could say, hey, we're now offering, hoop cheese as takeout. And so that will now flag my restaurant up higher in their search. So it's really great to take a look at this insights tool. And it's a wonderful way to just understand where these people are coming from, what they're searching. So then you can go down here and take a look at where customers are viewing the business. So this will show you if they're viewing you from Google Maps. So like I showed you guys, if I was on Google Maps, it would be like, say I'm searching for restaurants on Google Maps. So that would be how I find Robinson Ferry, was just by looking up restaurants, and it's right here. So that would be a click on Google Maps. But then listing on search is when I'm just going to google.com and I'm searching, restaurants near me. So then it would pop up this way. So that would be me finding it through a Google search. So that's what those two sections mean. Then you also can see customer actions. So this one is really cool. You can see a lot of people are visiting our website primarily. We get a handful of people that request directions, and then a couple of people that are calling us. So you can see by each date, this was an interesting spike. It was May 8th. Maybe that was a weekend. So maybe I need to really up my game in posting on Google Business on weekends. And so you can also toggle over and see, just over the past week, what days perform the best. Then direction request, it's not loading right now. It takes a minute sometimes for this, but this is the areas where your customers request directions to your business from. So this would be, I'm certain for Robinson Ferry, they're located in Warrenton. I bet we get a lot of requests for directions of people that are in Warrenton, maybe at Lake Gaston, which is pretty close by. So it would actually pull all that data after it loaded and let you see where all these people are coming. I'm sorry, it's not loading for some reason. Then you can see when and how many times customers are calling your business. So if you have that phone number listed and public, you can see what day of the week is your most popular. So we're getting most of our calls on Saturday, which is to be expected for a restaurant. And then you'll see what your business is known for. So we're popular for dinner, serves great cocktails, etc. And so this section is kind of cool. This section of insights provides customers opinions of your restaurant in like some bulleted form. So say, somebody had left us a review, Robinson Ferry has great cocktails, or I love the margarita. Google automatically will take all that information and consolidate it for you into these statistics. So you'll know now, based on all these reviews and key attributes that are helping customers decide where to go, this is what you're known for as a business. Then you can see what your most popular time is based on when people are visiting you. So Google is collecting all of this data. And so you'll see that for us, Saturday, around that 7 o'clock hour is the most popular. And then visit duration, the average visit time to your location is 1.5 hours. And then I can see how many times people are viewing those photos on my Google business listing, and then photo quantity, and so on. There's so many amazing statistics out there that Google offers, and definitely take a look at all of those. And I would certainly take a peek at how are people discovering you? What are they coming to me for? Well, if I'm popular for dinner, maybe I should post, a dinner special or some kind of special offer for a cocktail hour or whatnot. Or since we're great for groups, perhaps I could do some kind of interesting post about how we accommodate large groups in our private dining room. So those are always really great things to just keep tabs on. So next up is managing a review on Google Business. So this is a huge component of Google My Business, is that people who are Google users can leave your business reviews. So something that I like to do is just have the Google My Business app downloaded to my phone. And anytime someone leaves a review, I immediately get a notification, and then I can go in and respond to that. So it's something I would certainly, consider downloading. It's Google My Business. And so that way, if somebody does leave you a review in real time or shortly after, you can respond back to them. So I will show you what it looks like on here. So we'll go down, we'll open up our business, and we'll click on reviews. So you'll see there's a section for all. So you can see all the reviews you've ever received. And so this is a restaurant. They're pretty popular. They've received a lot of reviews. You can click on the replied section. These are all reviews that you as the business owner have replied to. So that's what's really cool, is that say somebody gives you a 5-star review, just take a little bit of time just to say thank you so much. Like, hope to see you again soon. Then there's a section for haven't replied. So I wanted to be sure to show you guys how you can actually easily reply. So I click on reviews and I go to haven't replied. And this person left us 5 stars on February 22nd. We did not reply to them. So I'm going to hit reply and just say, thank you so much, Nan. You come back to see us, sorry. And then I would hit post reply. So that's just how easy it is to pop in there real quick. And it's a great tool to use if somebody maybe doesn't have a great experience for some reason. Maybe you got a really negative review. It's very important to still respond to those negative reviews too, because if somebody is landing on your Google My Business page that's coming to your business for the first time, and they see that, you know, you have a lot of 5-star reviews, but then like a couple 2-star or 1-stars, and you haven't replied to them, they're going to wonder like, what happened? Like, why aren't they being attentive? So have that customer service kind of mindset hat on, and be sure to respond to people. There was somebody that had complained about service being slow. So you'll see the owner went and typed out a really great response and was able to reply to Huntley, who had a bad experience. So it's good when you actually take that initiative to try to fix it. And I always say, like, put in, you know, we'd love for you to give us a call to explain a little bit more about what happened. We'd love to make it up to you, and try to always take it offline, because the moment people can, you know, go back and forth with you, it doesn't look as great as if you just direct them to privately email you or privately call you to handle the disgruntled employer, or disgruntled customer. So that's managing reviews. And then next up is setting up your users on Google My Business. So this is that part where I was saying, you know, a lot of us are busy. Maybe I don't want to be the one that's in charge of responding to all the reviews or adding in photos. Maybe I just want somebody else to help me manage my business page. So what you would do is go to the users section, and then there'll be a plus sign, and I'll do a demo, and you can invite new users and choose their role as owner, manager, and site manager. So what are all the differences between these different types of users on Google My Business? Well, an owner means that this person is the owner of the business. So each listing can have multiple owners, but there's only one primary owner. So like for me, I'm the primary owner of Tabletop Media Group. I could add my husband if I wanted to as another owner, but I will still be that primary owner. Owners and primary owners have the same capabilities, but a primary owner can never remove themselves from a listing until they transfer their primary ownership to another user. So that's something to keep in mind. And then all owners can add other users to share management of your farm listing or your business listing without having to share your password. So what's a manager? That's the next level down from that owner category that we talked about. So a manager has most of the capabilities of an owner, but they don't have the more sensitive capabilities like the power to remove the listing or managing users. And then a site manager, this is what I would recommend you guys adding people as. They have most of the capabilities of a manager, but don't have access to edit all the business information. So like they wouldn't have access to, you know, edit the phone number of the business or things like that. But when signed in to Google My Business, a site manager can request to upgrade if they wanted to be a manager or an owner. So that is something they can do. And then the listing owner can approve or deny that request. And I do have this really helpful chart for you guys to take a look at if you want. So I did include the link here, but I didn't want to go through every single little thing. But Google has this really great chart of the different kind of capability levels and who can do what. So certainly take a look at that. You know, like the site manager can edit the hours for the business, which is fine, but they can't edit the phone number and they can't edit the services, but they can also create and publish posts. So I think a site manager is a really great level to add like one of your employees, because they can't, you know, add and remove other users or totally remove your business profile. And so I'll go in here to show you where you do that. So you'll open up your business and go down to users, and then you'll simply be able to see all of the different users that are currently on here. So Lewis, she's a manager. Maybe I want to just make her a site manager. I could easily toggle that over here since I'm the primary owner. Maybe I want to add somebody new. I'll invite a new user and I'll just type their email address into here. So maybe I want to add my husband at Tabletop Media Group, group.com, and then it would add him as a user. Sorry about that. I accidentally exited out. So anyway, you would just type that name, and then you would choose whatever role you want him or her to be, and then you would hit invite. And then that person will get an invitation that they have been asked to manage your Google My Business page, and they'll have to accept it in order to have that access. And then last but not least is that you can get messages from customers on Google My Business. So I cannot stress this enough. Do not turn this feature on unless you have time to answer all these messages. So if somebody is on the way to your restaurant and you have direct messaging turned on your Google My Business page, they could say, hey, what's the special for tonight? And then it's on you as the business owner or the site manager to respond directly to that message. So for a lot of our clients, I do not have this feature on just because, there's so many platforms out there and a lot to keep up with, but it is such a fantastic tool if you can have somebody dedicated to answer those questions. So again, turn this feature on only if you have time to answer all these messages that are coming in. And this allows customers viewing like your farm or your restaurant to message you directly. You can respond to questions, share information, and quickly connect totally for free. It's like you're texting with somebody. And you do have to install the Google My Business app on your smart device in order to access this. So that is something to also keep in mind. All right, so I know that was a lot. We are right at 101, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys might have. Rita, I know that you said, is selling okay on Google Business? So I certainly think Google Business is a great place to sell because you do have that product capability. I know we didn't dive a ton into the product function, but you can add in different products that you have and like offers and things like that. So I do think it is a great place where you can, sell some things to your customers. So yeah, let's see. And then Rita, you're saying that you don't see what your business is known for on your Google Business page. Just want to make sure you're on Insights and then going down to what your business is known for. This also might not be available if your business has not been active for a little while. So I don't know how long your business has been on Google My Business, but that might be something. And it might even depend on like what kind of category you're in and how many people have left your reviews too. So if you don't have very many reviews, it might not have populated that yet. Great. And just a reminder, I will have all of these slides available to you guys right after the presentation. So if you want access to other presentations or whatnot as well, just let me know too. And I'm more than happy to send those to you. I know Evangeline just said that she missed one of the sessions. Can she get the slides? I'm happy to send that to you. I know some of you have had other stuff that's come up during this series, so I'm more than happy to send that to you. But thank you guys so much. I hope that this was helpful. I hope to see you at the next upcoming sessions, and I will be sending out a reminder email to sign up for that YouTube class that we added. And then I'll also send along these slides and the recording. So thank you guys very much, and I hope you enjoyed.